I never believed in ghosts. At least, not until 3 months ago. It started one night while I was studying late in my apartment. Around 2 a.m., I noticed something strange at the end of the hallway outside my bedroom. There was a tall shadow standing there, darker than the darkness around it. At first, I thought it was my imagination, so I looked away and continued working. A few minutes later, I glanced back and felt a chill run through me. The shadow seemed closer, not much closer, maybe a few feet, but enough that I noticed. I stared directly at it for several seconds. It didn't move. Then I blinked, just once. When I opened my eyes, it was closer again. My heart started racing. I switched on every light in the apartment, and the figure disappeared instantly. The next morning, I convinced myself I had been exhausted and seeing things. But that explanation fell apart when I checked my security camera footage. The hallway camera showed the exact place where I'd seen the shadow. At 2:14 a.m., the hallway was empty. At 2:15 a.m., a tall black figure suddenly appeared at the far end of the hall. It didn't walk into frame. It simply existed there from one frame to the next. The creepiest part was that every few minutes, it somehow appeared closer without ever actually moving. There were no missing recordings and no glitches. One moment it was farther away, and the next it was several feet closer. I watched the footage over and over, unable to explain what I was seeing. A few days later, things got worse. I came home from work and found a piece of paper sitting on my desk. I lived alone and nobody else had a key. Written on the paper in messy handwriting were 3 words: "Stop looking away." I checked every room, every window, every lock. Nothing was disturbed. That night, I decided to stay awake. I kept every light on and sat in my room watching the hallway through the open door. At exactly 3:03 a.m., all the lights in my apartment flickered once, then twice, and suddenly went out. The darkness was complete. Then I heard footsteps. Slow, heavy footsteps coming down the hallway toward my bedroom. One step, then another, then another. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. The hallway was empty. The footsteps stopped. Before I could process what was happening, my phone buzzed with a notification from my security camera app. Motion detected. My hands were shaking as I opened the live feed. The camera was pointed directly at my bedroom door. Standing inside my room, only a few feet behind me, was the figure. But that wasn't what terrified me most. The figure wasn't looking at me. It was staring directly into the camera, and it was smiling. Subscribe for part 2.